Mastering Law of Attraction through Lucid Dreaming.
Hi everybody out there, my name is Brandon Shaw and I'm here to teach you how to master the law of attraction through lucid dreaming. Now I'm going to let you know a little bit about myself. My name is Brandon Shaw. I'm a co-CEO of Down to Earth Comedy and Productions. And I was born August 25th, 1986. That was the same day my grandmother was born on the 25th. I was born with Hirschsprung's disease. You can Google that and look that up and everything. But basically that's a colon disease. So I came in this real sick and, had complications with my colon and everything. And doctor said that I wasn't going to make it. Well, eventually I did. And over the years, during that time, I was having these dreams and phenomena, things that was happening to me that I couldn't explain and things like that, of that nature. And so, when I became a teenager, I started to have things like sleep paralysis, and I guess some people call it out of bodies. At the time, I didn't know what it was or anything, but we are all human. So always keep that in mind. It's not about race, it's not about cultures and everything. We all need sunlight. We all need water, and we all need nutrients. Now, a lot of people have different stories where we can relate, because everybody's going through a struggle. Everybody's going through pain, suffering, depression, all these things. People always ask the question, like, how can I do what I want to do in my life? Why is it so hard? Why is it such a struggle? Well, it's all right here in the mind. Everything comes from the mind. Everything you see around you physically, and it came out of a brain. Always remember that. Always know that. A few months ago, I posted on Facebook about how to master the law of attraction through lucid dreaming, and I know a lot of people have been waiting for me to do this video, so I told them I was going to, I'm a busy man, I'm working on comedy skits, music, screenwriting, and a lot of other things, but let's go ahead and get started with this, okay? Now, when I was a kid, I read a lot. My mom always was reading me day and night every time, things like that, When I was 5 years old, my dad taught me about imagination. The first time I remember doing it, he told me, Brandon, close your eyes. So I closed my eyes. I was like, okay. And I was like, Dad, I can't see nothing. It's just dark. And my dad said, no, Brandon, go ahead and close your eyes and things like that. What do you see? I was like, I'm thinking to myself, Dad, I don't see anything. And so my father's like, oh, well, I see a boat. And there's some pirates coming my way. So, I'm thinking my dad crazy. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to play along with it, right? So I was like, yeah, Dad, I see the pirates right now. Let's get the cannonballs. Let's blast them and things like that. My dad said, okay, here they come on the board. So I'm playing this out and everything. And we did this about for like 30 minutes. When I opened my eyes up, it's like, wow, like, where was I at? And I've been fascinated with the imagination. We all have the ability to create mental images in our minds. Now let's fast forward and things like that until later on when I got in adulthood, So I made a lot of mistakes and things like that. We all teenagers and early adults, we out here partying, drinking, doing whatever, and, we have to learn from these things, Well, at the time when I was married, me and my wife were separated, and I was paying full rent, utilities, paying 2 car notes, paying 2 car insurances, working 2 jobs. So things was real hectic for me and things of that nature. So it got so bad to the point where I stayed with my mom for a month. And I'm a grown man, and I'm thinking to myself, how did I get here? Why am I at my mom's house, and yet I have an apartment where I'm paying rent, utilities, and everything? So I had to go back. I went back to my childhood. Remember, how did I get here? And I started to almost do my own psychology on myself. And I remember I should read a lot. I need to go back to reading some more. So then I stumbled across this book from Alcohol Anonymous, and it was step 5 to this rule, and it said moral inventory. And that's the first step of what I'm going to teach you guys on how to master the law of attraction through lucid dreaming. So if everybody follow with me, if you have a notebook or some paper, you can write this down. All right, so step 1, of how to master the law of attraction through lucid dreaming is called moral inventory. Now, a moral inventory is a list of your negatives and your positives. This is very important. So when you write down this, work on this list, you get a piece of paper. Everybody see this right here. Step 1, okay? Now there's 10 steps how to master the law of attraction through lucid dreaming. This is step 1. Next week I will explain step 2. Right now step 1 is moral inventory. So moral inventory is writing a list of your negatives and your positives. So I'm going to give you an example of what I'm talking about. So we'll put positives. Negatives. This is the important why being honest is so important. I mean, it's very critical that you be honest with yourself. I mean, you read it in the Bible, the Quran. I mean, they're having a lot of self-help books. I mean, your elders will tell you the same thing all around you. You have to be honest. This is what's critical for step 1, doing a moral inventory. You write a list of your positive things about yourself, and then you write a list of the negative things about yourself at that moment. If there's a positive or a negative you're not sure about, you write it down anyway. Okay? Because that way it'd be easier for you to eliminate some of these negatives. So let's go on this side. When I first did a moral inventory, I had 33 negatives and I had 28 positives. So I'm going to give you some of my positives that I had. One of them was I was educated. And yes, sexy. Friendly. And let's see, what else? You know, so many positives that I can just throw out there. Yeah, and also loyal. Okay. Now, on this side, I'm going to write down some of the negatives I had. Okay, I was bitter. I was revengeful. If I spelled this wrong, pardon me. I know that's not how you spell that, but bear with me. I was revengeful. I also used to get angry a lot. I also drinking alcohol. So I'm just going to use these for a few examples. So when I had 33 negatives and I had 28 positives. Now, when you're writing this list of positive and negatives with your moral inventory, pardon my language, read them out loud. Read your positives out loud, read your negatives out loud. So when I did this, I was positives. Okay, I'm educated, I'm sexy, I'm friendly, I'm loyal. I'm bitter, I'm revengeful, I'm angry, I drink alcohol. So once you're done with this list, when I was done with it, the first thing that happened to me, it dawned on me, I was like, oh my God, everything that ain't going my way, this is my fault. That was the first time in my life where it dawned on me, because, I mean, I know I heard adults tell me this all the time, and, you know, whether you read it, you've seen it, you know, hold yourself accountable for your behavior. We all get that, but somehow in life, you know, we're so busy with things and problems, situations, things we want to have fun and do. It kind of slips our mind. It slips our subconscious. I mean, it slips our conscious mind. And so anyway, like, this is nobody's fault. I'm not at where I want to be yet, because of these negatives. So I told myself, I can't worry about nobody else. Nothing else matters. This is what I have to do right here. It's not about your job. I mean, you take care of your family and everything, but you have to put yourself first, because this is where it starts at. So what I did was I started working on myself. So I started eliminating some of these negatives. So you're reading bitter, revengeful, anger, drinking alcohol, smoking cigarettes, negative criticism on people, judging others. I mean, all a whole list of negatives. So I found myself working on myself. Nothing else mattered. I never cared what no one thought or said about me. I've always been that way since I was born. So I blocked everybody else and everything else out because this was important. So I got rid of my bitterness. I stopped being revengeful. I stopped being so angry. Now I still drink alcohol every now and then. So that's still negative. But I'm going to get to that later about, you're going to have some negatives, but I'm going to get to the point why just because you have some negatives in moral inventory, why it's not a bad thing. It's just letting you know why these are the problems right here, the real serious issues, And so the second time I did a moral inventory. And when you do a moral inventory, I want you guys to work on yourselves. The next time you do it, give yourself 2 weeks before you do another one. So the second time I did a moral inventory, you know what I had? I went from the second time I did a moral inventory, I'm just going to put a P that's for positive, and I'll put N for negative. Okay? Second time I did moral inventory, I'm just going to write the number down. I had 33 at first. This is the first week. I had 28 positives. Okay? This was the first week. Second time I did moral inventory, I had 728 positives. I had 18 negatives. And I asked myself, how did I not write 728 positive things about myself the first time? How did I not see that? Now, we did the math right here with 33 and 18. 15. I asked myself, Brandon, 15 negatives blocked you from seeing all these positive things about yourself? This is why it's so important to keep a positive attitude, or to keep a positive mindset. You always have to think positive, even when things are not going your way. Because you can always, life is like that. Every dog has his day. There's going to be ups and downs. Even the weather changes, So, 15 negatives blocked me from seeing 728 positives. Now, let me get this right, okay? So this is the second time I did moral inventory. 728. This is real powerful what I'm about to tell you right now. When you read, you know how long it takes for you to read 728 words? And some of these words are more than one syllable. 728 positives I'm reading out loud to myself. How many times in life can you sit here and tell yourself that you fed yourself good information for like over 20 minutes? Instead of focusing and feeding into the negative, because we can easily get into the negatives. I read 720 things out loud to myself, and I can't remember how long it took. But the more I read, I felt like Superman, like S on my chest. I'm like, wow, man. I don't even know why I had these issues in the first place. It was that simple. Just to work on myself. It's not about how much money I made, how many friends I tried to make, who loved me, who supported me. None of that mattered. It's this right here. Keep being positive. And because I was staying positive, I noticed my reality changed. A lot of friends I've lost. A lot of new friends came in. I had more opportunities. Because you know why? Because how I was thinking. I was thinking more positive. See, these negatives can block that. And they're like black clouds. So now I have 19 negatives. I still got work to do. In life and things like that, you're going to have negatives. They're going to high and low. But some of the things I didn't like the first time as a positive is let you know the type of things you take for granted. Like, for example, I work in the Department of Mental Health field. You know, I have 5 fingers on each hand. I can walk. I didn't like this at first. I've been around people who was in wheelchairs. No, I've took my legs for granted. The little things that we don't even see that we got good going for ourselves. Do you know how many people don't even have these abilities? There's a lot of people out here who can't hear, they can't see. There's a lot of people who can't even drive a car. That was another positive. I learned how to drive a car. I can get to point A, point B. The point I'm trying to make is you go get into a habit of noticing all type of good things. And I just started to learn how to cook since 2012. Because before 2012, I couldn't even scramble eggs. You know, it's easy as that. I mean, I was such a bad cook, I didn't even know how to boil water. That's how bad it was. But because of the positives that I started to see in myself, it made me stronger. It made me more calmer, more relaxing, made me more focused. So I want you guys to focus on the moral inventory, step 1, of how to master the law of attraction through lucid dreaming. Now I know you guys wait, okay, Brandon, you didn't talk about lucid dreams and you didn't explain how dreams work or law of attraction. For those who don't know what law of attraction is, now what I'm about to tell you is, mastering the law of attraction, lucid dreaming, you have to believe that it works. Nothing in life works if you don't believe it. You got to have a real strong belief. You got to have a belief so strong like you know your name. I know my name is Brandon Shaw. I believe that. I have birth certificates. I have a load of paperwork with my name on it. So I know that. So step 1, once again, do the moral inventory. Because once you see this right here, you will stop playing the blame game. When you point your finger at somebody, 3 are pointing back. Notice how your body works. Your brain is being protected better than your heart for a reason. But the heart is the main function of the body. You have to use this to protect this. Doing the moral inventory is going to let you know what's the real problems. You know, you have to stop blaming your father. You got to stop blaming your mother, your boyfriend, your husband. Oh, my job didn't did this. They made me mad. You got to stop playing the blame game. You can't be blaming Satan made me do it. The devil, he got my head. No, it's you. It's you who's doing that. And once you accept that, you will learn this through the moral inventory. Because now your eyes will open. And you will realize that the reason why you're not at where you at is because of the negatives. Because that's how you put in your mind. And what you put in your mind, it projects in reality. That's just how this physical reality works. So always think positive. And always hold yourself accountable. That's the most important thing before we get to these next steps. So I want you guys to work on your moral inventory. Write down your negatives. Write down your positives. It doesn't matter which one you want to read out loud first. Me personally, I wrote my positives first. And then I went to the negatives. I'm the type of person, I want to tackle the problem, So when you do this moral inventory, first time, get busy. Start working. 2 weeks, do it again. And you will be astonished at how much better you will feel without having to take no medication, without having to blame things or nothing. Because you control how you feel and your behavior and everything. Law of attraction is attracting things to you. You don't have to chase things. You let it come to you naturally because you visualize it. Always remember that. That's what law of attraction is how you attract things that you want in your life. A lot of people think like working 9 to 5s, working real hard, or trying to scam people, or do this or do that. You know, money is not going to get it done. People are not going to get it done. You're the only one that can operate through your body. This is your vessel. This is your machine. Like Iron Man. Your body, this is Iron Man right here. Tony Stark is the soul that operates this. And what you put in your mind, just like this camera, it will project. And you will also see it in reality. So if you're treating yourself bad, others will do the same. But, well, hold on, Brandon. But if I treat myself good, people still treat me bad. But see, that's how you perceive things. Because you can't control how people behave in that. People still treat me wrong. But you know what? I know that there's something that they haven't done this. See, if they worked on it more than negatives, they won't be treating you that way. So that let me know it's not something with me, it's something with them. And yet I have 2 feet. Remember, my negatives being revengeful and bitter. You know, I gotta get back at you. I can't let you do that to me. But now I just walk away. I ignore it. Because I realize, like, I don't have to be bothered. You don't control my body. I can do whatever I want to do. I don't have to be around you. And that's step 1 of how I master law of attraction, lucid dreaming. More inventory. Step 2 will be out next week, so stay tuned, okay? It's coming out Wednesday. Everybody be out there. Happy New Year and peace.
Mastering Law of Attraction through Lucid Dreaming.